What's up, fantasy fans? Week 9 of the NFL weekend games. Let's start with the Rams against the Giants. The Rams coming off a bye. The Giants also coming off a bye. This is an interesting matchup, but I'm going for the Rams to win this game simply because they score the second highest points per game. They also have the fourth best pass defense. Going against the Giants, who are going to be without Oliver Vernon, without Richburg, their center, and also without Jack Rabbit, the guy that literally holds down the number one receiver on opposition. So they get Sterling Shepard coming back this week, but that's one piece out of many pieces that could actually allow you to win games. So it's going to be a tough matchup for them in order to score points. But the Rams, they've got Sean McVay, very cerebral offensive coordinator, and they're going to win this game just based on that. The Ravens against the Titans. The Titans are coming off a bye, and the last game was against the Browns. It was a scrappy game. They didn't score that many points, but they managed to win the game. So look out for them to try to do the same against this Baltimore Ravens, who actually put 40 against Miami the week before. But the Ravens have had a long time to rest. It's almost like they were also on a bye week. So they're heading into this game feeling fresh. They should look to try to bounce. Not just bounce, but literally keep on that good stride they've been on. And given the fact that they allow less points per game, you're more likely not to see the Titans scoring a lot against them. But it's Marcus Mariota. It's a very good QB. It could go either way, but I'm going to go for the Ravens simply because of that defense. Next game, we've got the Bucks against the Saints. The Bucks had a miserable game playing at home against the Panthers. They're going against Drew Brees, who's playing at home. It's going to be a game of literally passing. These guys have played against each other before, and it was really you're more likely to see at least between 500 to 700 or probably even 800 passing yard game. But that being said, the center defense has been playing really well. They're moving forward in terms of pass defense as well as rush defense. However, the Bucks have the second best pass offense in the league at the moment, which simply means that Jameis is throwing the ball. You've got Mike Evans on one side, you've got Deshaun Watson on the other side, and you've got very good tight ends, actually extremely good tight ends in Cameron Brate and OJ Howard. It's now down to him to make good use of those pieces in order to win the game. But the Saints playing at home, I'm going to favor the Saints simply because they've got a home field advantage and also Drew Brees. Next game we've got Denver playing against the Eagles, two of the best defenses in the league going against one another. Denver didn't show up against the Chiefs. Trevor Siemian hasn't been the guy they hope he would have been, having started so well at the start of the season, but then his performances start dipping to the point that they're having to start Osweiler in his position. Osweiler, who actually left the team 2 years ago, now is back and then he's a starter. He's starting again. But one thing they can count on is their defense. Even though their defense didn't do so well against the Chiefs, they've managed to be able, they can actually manage to keep you in the game and keep you going. In regards to the Eagles, Carson Wentz has been a revelation, just like Deshaun Watson has been, but he's going against the Denver defense. But one thing is certain, Carson Wentz can throw the ball, but the Denver pass defense is very good. Their rush defense is not quite as good, but actually I'm wrong. They are the best team against the run. Sorry, they are the best team against the run. So the Philadelphia Eagles acquired Joe Ajayi. You've got Joe Ajayi, you've got Legarrette Blount. Are they going to produce enough offensive power to threaten that Denver defense? If it's on the ground, hopefully, but in the air, you got Kip Talib, you got Chris Harris Jr. on the other side. It's going to be a tough matchup, but I'm going to go for the Eagles to win simply based on the quarterback. They have the best quarterback, and I feel like they will do the job. Next game, we got the Bengals against the Jags. The Bengals had a weird game against the Colts. They barely played well, but they were able to win the game because of how well the defense has been playing lately. So the Jags coming off a bye, I'm looking at them thinking, if the Colts were able to put the Bengals into that much, cause that much trouble to the Bengals, surely our Jags defense, who is ranked at least, who is ranked among the top three, could do even better. So I'm going to go for the Jags to win this game based on their defense. If that defense turns up, they're going to win the game. Also, you've got Leonard Fournette coming in. You've got Chris Ivory. They're going to run the ball. The Bengals, I don't see it happening. I'm going for the Jags to win this game. Next game, we've got Atlanta Falcons against the Panthers. ATL, they've managed a scrappy game against the Jets. Rainy and wet game, but Matt Ryan showed that MVP caliber, managed to win the game. Panthers, the defense did the business against the Bucks last week, so you're hoping they will be able to reproduce the same performance again against Atlanta. But now, what's more interesting is that the Panthers traded Kelvin Benjamin to the Bills. But remember, Cam Newton went to the Super Bowl 2 years ago without Kelvin Benjamin, and they won 15-1 without Kelvin Benjamin. Surely, can they do the same thing again? Probably not the Super Bowl, but Cam not having to rely too much on Kelvin Benjamin may allow him to find many weapons down the field and throw the ball to them. So, just on that basis, I will go for the Panthers to win this game. Next game, we've got the Colts against Texans. Texans lost Deshaun Watson. Is Tom Savage going to be able to come in and step up? Not even step up, literally do enough to win games for that team. They're currently ranked best in terms of points per game. They're scoring over 30 points per game, just like the Rams are also doing. But you're going against the Colts, a scrappy team. They've been unlucky, but they're looking for another win. They're currently 2-6. So, are you gonna go there? And no, actually no. The Colts are going there. Are the Colts going to pose you enough trouble that will actually demand too much of your quarterback if you can't produce it? Surely your defense won't be able to do what's required of them, given how much points they also letting. So Texans, no JJ Watt, no Mercedes. It's going to be a tough matchup, but I'm going to go for the Colts to cause an upset because they're getting close games. They haven't been able to do it. But I feel like Jacoby Brissett is going to have a good game against the Texans. So I'm going for the Colts to win that game. Next game we'll go Washington against Seahawks. Washington has been plagued by many injuries. They're not going to have the center playing. They're not going to have the two tight ends, Niall Poles and Jordan Reed not playing. It's going to be a tough matchup for them. You're going against the Seahawks. It's a Legion of Boom. Kirk Cousins, I probably feel like against the Cowboys he did enough to win the game. It was just that he didn't have enough time to throw the ball. So hopefully having a few defensive pieces coming back, that would be that would allow their defense to slow down the Seahawks. One thing I've noticed against the Seahawks when they played against the Texans was that play action worked well in order to, in a certain sense, expose the Legion of Boom. So if Deshaun Watson was able to do that, remember Deshaun Watson is not, Kirk Cousins is not as mobile as Deshaun Watson, but he can move around as well. So if he's able to do some trickery, he's got Gruden as a head coach. Gruden is smart. He's a smart coach. He may find some very interesting plays that will allow him to make the most of what that defense, what that Legion of Boom defense lacks. But like I said, they're going at CenturyLink. It's going to be a tough matchup for them, and I'm going to go for the Seahawks to win that game. Next, we've got the Colts against the 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo was traded by the New England Patriots to the 49ers. I'm actually going to do a video on the trades very soon. The Cards, no Carson Palmer. This is, for me, the key to the game here is give the ball to AP and let Adrian Peterson run the show. Don't put the ball in the hands of QB that much. I know the 49ers defense, the pass defense is not that good, but their rush defense is not that great either. So if you allow AP to run the ball more often, you're more likely to get win out of this. But Jimmy Garoppolo going into that team, I feel like he's going to give that team a spark for them to actually win this game, and that's the reason why I'm going to pick them, because defensively and offensively they're right in the middle of the park. Having looked at that, I believe, like I said, Jimmy coming in is a spark. People are going to see him coming in from the Patriots. They'll be like, it's good. It motivates you in the sense that you feel like you've got better QB coming in. So I'm going to go for the 49ers to win this game. Next, we've got the Chiefs against the Cowboys. This is perhaps the best game. It's perhaps going to be the best game of this week, and probably based on what might happen, might be one of the best games of the season. But Zeke officially playing. Dak is going to go against Marcus Peters and Terrence Mitchell. These two guys are very good. He's going to have to be wary of them, because if the run game doesn't work, you're going to have to throw the ball. There's Brian going against Marcus Peters. Marcus Peters he has his good games, but you can actually, he has certain flaws, and if Des Bryant can make the most of these flaws, he's more likely to actually win a few matchups and allow the Cowboys to win, to perhaps create enough offense to win the game. But on the other side, you got the Chiefs, who are having Tampa Ali, who's coming back. You also have D Ford and Justin Houston. That's a lot of pressure against that offense. I know they are a very good offense, but they have to be ready for the pressure that defensive front is going to put. One thing as well that I've noticed was that against Denver last week, the game they played against Denver, they've actually allowed 177 yard rushing against Denver. So we're talking about Devontae Booker running, Jamal Charles, who actually went back to play against the Chiefs for first time since his move to the Denver Broncos, and also CJ Anderson. So that's something that the Dallas Cowboys can actually utilize against the Chiefs. However, I will go for I will go for the Chiefs to win this game. Offense, defense, and a deep threat. Tyreek and Wilson on the other side. So I'm going to go for the Chiefs to win this game. Next game, we've got the Raiders against Miami. Raiders had a miserable game against the Buffalo Bills last week. You also have Miami, who had an even worse game against the Ravens, losing 40-0. So they're gonna go in this game thinking, having played on a Thursday, so they had a long rest to think about that, let that sink in order for them to look perhaps to go in a better direction. Because when you lose 4-0, it sets on you and it stays in the back of your mind for so long. But football, sometimes you gotta have a very forgetful mentality, because you can't drag last week's game into next or the following week's game. You gotta think about how to move forward. But Raiders, I will pick them simply because of the record. Amari Cooper and then Crabtree on the other side. This guy can bowl, and these guys can do some damage, especially when they're going against Miami. Even though Miami is currently ranked high in top 5 in terms of pass defense and rush defense, but I'll go for the Raiders. I believe in DC, so Raiders to win this game. Last game, Monday Night Football, we've got Lions against the Packers. They lost to the Steelers, and it was a tough game in the sense that Steelers didn't actually generate that much offense in terms of either rushing or passing, but they would have won the game simply because they had some breaks that allowed them. For example, when you look at the Juju Smith's touchdown, at various points either for at least one of the defensive backs ran after them, would have stopped them, but he was able to go. So that in a certain sense, you could say it's luck on his side, but also bad luck on their side. But you could also talk about how fast Juju Smith is. Even though going into this draft, many people going to the draft, many scouts said he couldn't separate himself from DBs, or probably didn't have top end speed, but that literally showed. So, however, the Packers, they're coming in from the bye, having lost against the Saints the week before the buys. It's a lot. It's a lot of time to mull over your opportunities and your missed chances, and also for Brett Hundley to literally have time to think for himself about how to move forward. But playing at home against Lions, they could win a game. They could win that game, and I'm simply going to go against them based on the QB. But I won't be surprised if the Packers win this game. But like I said, I'm going to go against the Packers simply because of their QB, simply because of their QB. But don't be surprised if the Packers win this game. So like I said, I will go for the Lions simply because I feel like they have a better QB playing in this game. So those are my prediction for this weekend game. I hope you guys enjoy them. Like I said, feel free to subscribe, comment, let me know what you think of my predictions. If you have any objections, I would love to hear them, and I will see you for my reviews. Peace.